right, welcome to Microsoft Copilot or Copilot. Before you even think Copilot, I know Copilot. Microsoft has 40 plus Copilots within its own product mechanism. So the way I just want you to think about it on what's a pilot, what's a Copilot, and what's an autopilot is just think it through. Microsoft calls Copilot as a companion, which is simple. You have a pilot, which is you. It's just, simple example is aircraft. You have a pilot, then you put that in autopilot, which means based on the instruction, it just goes like that. And a co-pilot is somebody who just sits and helps you with the whole driving process. In this case, let's take a meeting, for example. A co-pilot, Microsoft Teams Premium. Anybody used it? Because I used it, and we used it within the team. But now Microsoft Teams Premium, which is the AI generated to write, transcript all your tools, is now part of Microsoft Copilot 365. So if you are subscribing $10 a month, cancel it and go for the Microsoft 365. Either way, Copilot, what happens? It just joins the meeting. It just listens. It just listens for you. And Copilot, where Copilot comes in, if it just listens and does nothing for you, then that's your autopilot. There are tools like that, which we covered in the previous AI tools webinars. There are a lot of tools who just join in as an attendee, it listens, and then it transcribes. That's it. But Copilot does slightly different, where it summarizes, and you could also engage with it. Hey, who are the 5 people who joined in? What are the 5 actions that we discussed? What exactly did Alex told in this meeting? And when is the next meeting? So you can have these interactions within. That's your co-pilot. So, and in many cases, what I find interesting, which I suggest you do, is that you can't attend all the meetings all the time. So you just put in your co-pilot to attend the meeting, which is your Microsoft Teams. Just him or her, you can give a name. Just attends it, and then you could say, hey, by the way, can you just summarize the notes from the meeting, and you can just go from there, right? And many times, the Copilot, in other simplest way, so many times people send you, again, the other thing is, we'll go deeper on these things as much as we can. People send you an attachment. Here we go. Here is an attachment, PowerPoint slide, Excel, updated Excel. These are the corrections that you did. Sometimes it has no descriptions. Now you could work through it. So this is, if there is one thing I want you to get away from this whole webinar, is this data, the 4 bullet points, where why Copilot? This is what I've been telling. There are people who are blindly going and spending $1,000 a month with these LLM tools, proposal tools, etc., where they have zero chance to competing with either Google breed of products. Anybody uses Google products, which is like the Gmails, Google Sheets, etc.? Let me know. I think, Christina, you do, right? So yeah, let me know. If anybody does it, put it on the chat. Well, this is the interesting point, right? Where what's going to be amazing, or which we are going to cover anyway, is that is this whole world. There's this whole world where people have done 80 billion parameters, etc., which we already looked. Yes, Christina, I remember that. So primarily, that's the whole database. And before, we were searching in Google, but now we are using to search within ChatGPT, but instead of giving you the sources, it gives you the answer. That's how we have been fine-tuned in this 1.5 years. There's your open LLM data, right? If you use Perplexity, it does the answer in a short way. Good. Thanks, Christina. It also does in a short way, but it also gives you the sources where you can get it. Then comes the corporate data. The previous world of automation from 1989, from when Dr. Sant started this, and the Sant Corporation, where, hey, you have all these stuff, corporate data that sits in OneDrive or that sits in SharePoint, etc. I manually go and search, then these proposal automation tools, after Dr. Sant did it, and you have a flurry of products like RFPIO, Proposify, or RFPIO, they change themselves, right? Responsive, yeah, and LoopU, etc. This, hey, we take this information and then we do any questions, you put it on the chat. I'll just come back to it. So that's the second level of information. So the whole world before was, I don't know if this language models existed, but I had my corporate data, and this automation tools helps me to find answers in it. That's where they stop. And the automation tools, for their own survival, there is no other way. They have to do it. Now they have started to say, we also have connected to ChatGPT, OpenAI. We also have connected to XYZ. Now they say we also connected to that. What that meant is they have to differentiate them. There's no differentiation. Before, yes, proposal automation was standalone, but now they also get better information elsewhere. So now they're connecting it. Now the challenge is how robust or how secure is your data if it's already been connected to it, you know? So they have to say we are AI empowered. That's great. But now how secure is my data? Where Copilot comes in, it's a totally different game, which is like, hey, the large LLM, we have OpenAI, we already took it from there. Corporate data, OneDrive, SharePoint, etc. It's ours anyway. We are going to configure that. But where it comes in is your own data. This is something that you have within your inbox. And this is something people have shared that with you, either through email or either through Teams chat or either through, I don't know, Teams meeting, etc. And now you can use that for your own summary or insights or questioning, etc. You don't need to go flurry of emails to look into, hey, filter the email. I do remember Kerry sent me a message 3 months ago. Where is it? You can simply go to the chat within Copilot and you can answer it. So now what makes Copilot really, really, really powerful is it uses your data in between. If you have gone back and put a registration of your son's football game or daughter's ballet or anything like that, it also knows as well. But we will talk about it as well. So where Copilot comes in is it adds your data, your own data, personal data or professional data, if it depends on what you have, plus what's shared with you with the corporate data, with the overall LM data. And that makes it very, very unique. And nobody can now go back and say, I am going to do it. And that's why your LLM that you currently have, any of the tools that you have at the moment, we can never compete with these things. And the next 2 to 3 months, because it's low cost, anybody can create the custom pilots. The companies are going to let go or move on. There'll be a lot of people who sign up because they are ignorant, they are novice, they want to do it, they want to try it, or they're excited about it. After some point, everybody has Microsoft license, right? And they're going to go with that. Similarly, Google license, it's going to be the big boys game, big girls game. So keep that in mind. Yes, there are the three variants here. Copilot, which is free. This Copilot, which is free. You can log on to copilot.microsoft.com and you can play with it. Or anybody downloaded Copilot app? Anyone? If you haven't downloaded, just download it. It's fun. It's free, both Android and iPhone. You can do it. Copilot app. So it's there. And then Copilot Pro, which is the $20 one. I have Copilot Pro, and Copilot for Microsoft 365. I know I need to shut down, but the point here that you will note down here is this enterprise grade data production, right? Which will come back, to it. But either way, it helps. So we're just going to go very, very quickly. The price points, $20 for Pro, $30 for 365. Again, $20 is ChatGPT. So should I use ChatGPT or Copilot Pro? I'm not going. I have my personal experience, but I just want you to do it your own way, because there's pros and cons of both. So point here is Copilot Pro access the most advanced version of OpenAI. Whereas what you have on ChatGPT is 3.5, but it also exists. But the turbo version, you still can access it during the peak times. Whereas there will be some restriction open. I just want you to try it yourself. So $20 a month. If you haven't done it, I don't mind. If you can't, play with Copilot, but Copilot Pro you can try, because for individuals and small businesses, families, etc. As a family, you can do it. And for this one is for the other one. So, but what you need to have if you're getting for Microsoft 365, any company, if you're from any company, and have you already got a license for Microsoft 365 Copilot? Anybody? Because obviously, Microsoft 365 Enterprise was released 9 months before, compared to what it was done like a month ago when it was released to the wider people. Anyone in your enterprise? Obviously, as you know, we will touch is $30 per user per month. If you have 100 employees, that's 30 into 100, multiply by 12. So it does become very quickly an expense, but how you're going to do it, we are going to touch that deeper as we go. So Copilot app, this is web version, it's here. Copilot app, download it, and you could do a few things with it. So again, I'm not going to, this is the responsible AI charter. I just want you to work with it. And next is also free quiet, but it's also built in Microsoft Edge. Yes, totally. It's Nick, it used to be called Bing search, Bing search powered by AI, right? You might have heard it before. Bing search powered by AI. And now they changed it as Copilot free or Copilot. That's it. So this is what I want you to do very, very quickly in the next minute while I'm talking. I just want you to download Copilot or go to copilot.microsoft.com. And I just want you to do a few things. If you have the phone version, I just want you to experiment a little bit. These are the things. This is your little homework, because I don't want to do demo like this. We'll look into the bigger ones, but I'll show you how it looks like in a minute. I just want you to take a camera, take a picture, and then you can ask a question about it. You upload a photo and you can ask a question about it. Because it's speech detection, you can also, instead of typing the prompt, I just want you to ask a question with your voice instead of doing the text prompt. You could use an image, you can create an image, but to create an image, there is a slight glitch. It's not slight glitch, obviously they want to know who's, just for their own confidentiality, but people do, dodgy stuff, right? There is always that one person who just use it badly, but just for their own thing. If you want to create an image, you just need to log into that. It's a free login, so you can log in to just do it. And primarily, I do that all the time with my boys, because obviously when mom was in the hospital, we just need to entertain ourselves. We just post a happy picture of us, and we'll ask Copilot to write a song or write little fun stuff about the image. It writes it, then we laugh about it. And these are little things that you could do just to entertain yourself. But after the free stuff, there is a second layer with that. When you download it, obviously it knows who you are, but you are doing the web version, you can go back and add your email ID so that it knows who you are. Then it gives you slightly more ability. So basic level, it's for your personal creativity. If you're already very proficient with Claude and ChatGPT, there's one difference is it comes with images. So when you search something, so many of you might be going to New Orleans. It's one of my favorite places. I nearly bought a home there in 2016 when I was there for the APMP conference. So I've spent 3.5 weeks there. You can go back and check the TripAdvisor. At some point, my post was rated 3rd or something. I reviewed 22 pubs and breweries and a few things. Anyway, I'll talk. That's a totally different story. So you can go back and ask, hey, what are the different places I could visit? X, Y, Z. Again, it comes with an image. It comes with a few recommendations, bits and pieces. It's all there. So I just want you to use Microsoft Copilot. That's a very basic version. So as you know, Copilot for your phone and Copilot for the web. That's one. Now we are going to start intent. So please do bear with me because it's there. So Copilot for Microsoft 365, it's pretty much you take Microsoft, you take ChatGPT and you put it inside the Word or PowerPoint or Excel or any Office app, that becomes your Microsoft 365. And in very, very simple terms, what's Copilot? Copilot is Microsoft's own version of ChatGPT. So this is the list of exercise which I thought I will do. But I just, in parallel, when I'm talking, I just want you to play with it. That's how you learn. Curious, learn, and you can just list some tourist instruction in New Orleans with a teenager, and you can go with that. I don't know. Let me go quickly. When I was in New Orleans, on the last day when I was about to get discharged, because I packed it stuff, but the lady was cheeky. She charged me for the day I'm discharging things, telling me I didn't discharge before 10 o'clock. So I took a homeless person and I put the homeless person in the bed and I asked him to send a picture, and he enjoyed. He had the best of his night because after a long time, because you will find a lot of homeless people in New Orleans, and he stayed in the bed there. Sorry, it got distracted there. So primarily, Very, very important. You know your prompt, but what you do here is context. Context is important. So we are going to New Orleans, and what you're saying here is two pieces of context that you're giving to Copilot because it's there. Just because Copilot has the information, because in this case, it has whatever your data or your corporate data, etc. Don't expect it to come out exactly the same story that we do with ChatGPT and others. Set some context where you know what I'm going to travel with this, and now you go back and tell me the same thing. You're writing a proposal and you want to contact information, you just do the same. I've just written the way I do slides is in a written format because in that way many people can read it um, and get their own thing. So what you do here is you're simply taking the Copilot and you're pointing to the right documents and it'll do the rest. And it's not just something you could do in Word here, it's a similar process of PowerPoint. So primarily what that meant is it's an extra layer. That's why it's important for you to join the earlier courses like a writer program, bootcamp, etc., so that you're very, very comfortable in doing it. So to be honest, that's like, you know what, I need somebody to push me to get it done because I don't have the discipline or the time to get it done. That's fine. But there are so many resources, which we are going to look into now. So I'm an Outlook and I receive a long email and I want to know summary of this work, I can do it, you know. So any of the apps that you have, you can do it. So if you already have this in the tool, what you will find here is, I'll show you, um, you are going to find, OneNote, Word, etc. There will be a small button at the top end, like how you have help or something, Copilot. Simply you click Copilot, it just comes up with. But what, what I would like you to do is, you just need to ask Copilot about some questions because I always tell people, don't underestimate what it already knows. Because you might think, it doesn't know about my company, confidential information about my company, about my competition, etc. I know you haven't added, I know none of your team has added, your company hasn't added, but they have crawled a lot of information. So it's absolutely important for you to know what intelligence these tools already know about your company, your client, your competitor, anything and everything, right? So you open any favorite app and you'll find the Copilot button. Again, when you have it ready, you just go with that. So primarily, I just want you to go to this page, adoption.microsoft.com. Adoption.microsoft.com. Go. So, please, I will share my screen as well so that you will know where your adoption.microsoft.com. Okay, so I just want you to give you all the links that I want you to play with it before you actually come out of the course. Because I know as the time progresses, you might be like, oh my God, this is too much. So I will give it now. So let's do. So there are different links. So very first thing, let's go here. This is Copilot. In the recording, yes, Vaibhav, yes. So Microsoft Copilot, what it can do, what it can't do, very, very basic, you might think, but it has all the most important information. Remember, at some point, you just need to convince your team or if your company has already invested on Copilot, which they might not even tell you, then you might need to know what you need to know. So this is the very basic, beginner, important stuff. Next one is this Copilot for Microsoft 365. Again, there is Copilot and there is Copilot Pro and there is Copilot for Microsoft 365. Again, it tells you about all these things, responsible AI, resources and other things. Please do look into all these things, familiarize yourself, because there's no point for me to go back and copy paste all these things and tell you. So that's one. Next one, Microsoft Copilot for 365 documentation. This actually tells you if you are configuring Microsoft 365 for your own use, what you need to do. But if there is a bootcamp that I've just structured it, we are going to look into this in detail in the bootcamp. But for now, this is the link. Please do have a look. It's learn.microsoft.com Copilot Microsoft 365. Learn.microsoft.com Copilot Microsoft 365. So that's another link. Save it. Next one is this one, right? There is adoption, as you know, but before adoption, there is Copilot. I know there are a lot of people selling you prompts and other things. Prompts is utterly personal to you. All you need to give you is a context. But if somebody tells you these are the 100 prompts that's going to help you for proposals, etc., please be very scary, because Victoria is different to Carrie. Carrie is different to Karen. Karen is different to Nicole. Nicole is different to Alan. So you need to ensure you have bring your own style. So again, Copilot lab, copilot.cloud.microsoft prompts. So what are the interesting prompts that you need to know to work with Copilot? Obviously, it's a US link, but you can find the other link as well. As you can see, say meet Copilot, what you can do with Copilot, start using Copilot, what's a prompt, and it goes. All the prompts, all right? Next. Done that. So the comparison, again, Copilot, which I'll be covering anyway, but for you, it's just there. Next one is this adoption. This is the important one, which I thought I need to tell you. How do you adopt to Microsoft Copilot? Preparing for adoption, because it's all great. There are two ways you could learn any tool. Number one is you prepare yourself and then you download the tool, or you download the tool and you prepare yourself. Right? Because this is $20, $30, for most of you, it gives you for Copilot Pro, there is a 1 month free trial. Copilot Pro, 1 month free trial. So use your personal account, not your business account. You could link that account to a business account, but I personally will keep a personal account, use your Gmail or create a outlook.com, any email ID, and get it 1 month, play with it. Microsoft Copilot Pro, 1 month free trial, still ask your credit card, but just cancel it after the 1 month. So, but if you're going for Copilot for 365, this is what you could do. Again, adoption.microsoft.com. It's the gold dust, amazing content. And I just want you to go with that. View by users, by role, what you can do, and what you can do. Copilot for this, Copilot, and all these things, right? And position yourself, because this is a masterclass. Masterclass doesn't mean I lift and drop the things, which I have some, but otherwise, this is like adoption.microsoft.us. Very, very important link. And let's just do that before I continue into the things. So note down these things. We have done that. This is the basic Copilot. What you're going to find here is two things. Number one, before let's take a quick demo. So I'm just going to say, I am traveling with my two toddlers to New Orleans. Where do I stay? And list of instructions. Right? Let's do something very basic. I have just asked it. Obviously, there are typos here. Okay, it's see, there is a small. What you'll find here is ChatGPT will jump on it immediately and it'll answer. Where Copilot, as you can see here, it's thinking. What you'll find here is this Copilot is for my company, and it just, here are some family-friendly hotels, new phone, and it just comes with it. So as you can see here, it's slow, right? If you want fast, Claude or ChatGPT, bingo, just go with that. But even I can't stand this slow. How many people are getting anxious? Come on, get on with this Copilot. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? It's just because so used to getting information so fast, it just comes with it. So primarily, this is your copilot.microsoft.com, and you are going to find what's you need to do here is it says protected, because it's a company thing. It's protected, but if you are using personal Copilot, it will look something like this. I don't know whether you can see. Let me stop the share and share again. Right, I am traveling with my family to Godless best place to stay and attractions. Oh my God, so many typos. Oh, see. Is not even allowing me. It just says, oh, you have reached your limit. Now, how many of you have used to ChatGPT in the past? That's it. Now it says sign in to continue a chat. If you sign in, it just allows you to do. But either way, let's move on. I just want you to experiment, right? I just honestly want you to test with it. So let's go. Hopefully by this time, it does answer the question that we are looking for. All right. Okay, it's given the images. The one difference between that one with ChatGPT and Claude and stuff is it just gives you the images. So this is your Copilot normal. Copilot Pro comes with, again, I'll show you all the links before and then we go. So the next one, we already saw the Copilot Lab. That's it. Okay, let me get back to the slides. Yeah, ideally, we should have 3 screens or something that we could look into, but this is what it is. So let's look. I think we were here. All right, what can you do with Microsoft Copilot? Okay, let me quickly go. And adoption, this is the link that we started. And you can see the slides, right? And let's go, because it's not going to be easy. And but please to stay with me, because there are some very important content do's and don'ts that you may need to keep an eye on. So we touch this, and then, your simple thing is you just keep iterating it. There are some things that you need to remember. You already have a lot of data, and that brings us nicely to, hey, it's all great. How does Microsoft does it? Microsoft has something called the graph. Microsoft Graph, it's a database of all the Microsoft tools, and that's how it tries to connect. It's nothing but, another language model within a language model where the database is created. So primarily, you already have explored different Copilot tools, but look at you already different tools like Claude and ChatGPT. What graph does it? It's a superpowered context building machine. That's what you need to look. This is your graph. Right? What graph does is when you're a Copilot, when you're going to Word or when you're doing that, okay, here you are, you're connecting it to Microsoft Word or any product. That's how it works. See, it doesn't even, it's a files, messages, meetings, devices, insights, tasks, teams, chats, so on. It connects to anything and everything within the platform. That's called Microsoft Graph. I would like you to go back and test or find more about this information, and this is it. What sets it apart? Copilot is access your data, as I told you very beginning, in the user context. It means that anything you have access to, Microsoft 365 Copilot can see, and it tries to give you the answer. So you as a user now, if your company does desire to upgrade it, or if you decided to say, you know what, I'm a small business, I'm going to do it, as a Copilot user, you'll be conscious where this data is pulling from. And if you're the owner of resources like a team in Teams, and this is what I'm telling you, if somebody decided for you, then you wouldn't want people's Copilots pulling information from other people's thing without checking the permissions. This is where it gets very, very interesting, where while it's all great, it comes up with it, but like it or not, Microsoft user licensement, many companies are already going to or will be investing on this, because if you're spending $1,000 with any new proposal related LLM tools a month per user, or you're spending $30 a month, which one would you invest? You know the answer. So that's it. So primarily, the two things. Number one, if you're doing it, check these links, because it does gives you the sources, what you would expect. Sometimes doesn't give you right. So the 3 quick links before we get into the real nitty-gritty. It's like, okay, there are 3 big ways Copilot can end up having the wrong answer. What's going on in the background? It's important, because I know if you go back and ask, let's go with the very basic. If you go back and ask ChatGPT to explain how ChatGPT works, I just want you to try that. I want you to go back and ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT, explain who you are and explain your behind the scenes working. I want you to ask the same question to Copilot. Explain the history of AI. Explain why you do this in the way. While these tools have the ability to connect to other elements, it doesn't know who. It's a very hard question. It's a philosophical question, right? Who am I? If I ask you, who am I? If I ask myself, who am I? We struggle. The good news is AI also struggles. There is some similarity. So I just want you to go back and check, hey, who am I? And just go check it. First test. Second test, it's simple. It's already there. Um, it's important to remember that you have access to 10 different price lists, 10 different case studies. You might have some in OneDrive. You might have some in SharePoint. And you know which one is the final version, because it's your document. But today, when one Copilot is being configured to your laptop, and if you ask a question, Copilot doesn't know what's your final version unless you name this is the final version, unless you tell it as a context. I want you to go back and find information only in places where the file name has the word final. And you and me know not always we do that. What that meant is it might be picking up information from some outdated information within your own thing, it might come back with it. So it's important for you to know where it's pulling the information. It's not wrong information, but the source information. That's one. The second one is it could also misinterpret information. The reason I say that is this is what happened to me, and I'm giving you the example when you try to do it. So I would suggest whether your company doesn't invest on Copilot, I want you to spend this 1 month trial in Copilot Pro, which will still give you access to connect to your Word and PowerPoint and everything. And I just want to do these tests for you. That's the whole purpose of these things, right? Without spending anything, how can I learn? Good thing, right? That's it. Email thread to be summarized. Sometimes it's great at doing that, but other times it's subtly complex. It just let's go. Right. Then, hallucinations. I'm not going to go deeper inside. The reason I say that is when you want to read it, you can read it. So think of Copilot for Microsoft as a tool for fast draft or quick catch up. I'm not going to repeat it. But this is the interesting thing. The whole point of why am I doing it now is this. Nobody expected Microsoft to come out with Copilot Pro. Nobody. This is a curveball. So there is a free version like ChatGPT, which used to be Bing search. And then they had this enterprise version. But what's this Copilot Pro? Why do they want to come out with a product that's very similar to ChatGPT Plus? Because they realized that there are enterprise things, and then there are some non-enterprise things where small businesses, charity, governmental organization, others are working through. And there are also some people who are freelancers and others, instead of buying enterprise version, they also use the family version. You know what? That's it. So you need to know what pro is before you go and invest, because the personal thing. I know this is dry. Please stand with me because it's important. Because people make decisions very quickly, please. Copilot is completely new license that we hadn't heard before, but obviously now, 1st of November, enterprise kicks in, and that's it. So what you need to very quickly know that is, if you have used licenses, I just want you to go back and check what your base license is, because different license behaves differently. If I go back to Copilot Pro, I will get protected, but I won't get protected for the commercial data that I have. So you get fudged. So, and that will immediately come up with the enterprise version. But protected is protecting your personal data, not your company data. Got it? So personal privacy protected by Copilot Pro. But if you're using Copilot Pro for business purposes, be very wary. If I were you, I'll spend $10 more, get for $30, and I'll cover myself. So first thing is go find your base license. Whoever you are, just do it. Copilot Pro, you just need to have a login to do it, but it's very similar to ChatGPT, same $20 per month. But whether I want to buy this or that, it's a logical question. But I will tell my personal preference at the very end. I don't want to influence you. But important thing is you just need to understand there are licensing differences, there are security differences, and there are significant variations between what you get in Copilot Pro and what you get in the 365. And this is what I talked about. If you're one of these people who are using personal information, to run company as well, please be mindful. This is it. Why am I sitting and talking about it? I always ask questions. I get bored creating slides like this, and I'm just throwing out to you. I know this is really boring, but at the age of AI where we sit in, when the Copilot kicks in, today people talk about, company data, confidentiality. But please, when Copilot started, the potential for other users to see results that are trained within your company and within your personal data is also been opened up, right? So you need to be very, very clear what you have agreed to, and you need to also know what you have kept it here. So if I were you, I will start to realign and keep things personal, professional. Right? So it's very, very important. And this is the thing, when all these people, especially when somebody who's going and telling you, oh, we have used Microsoft Azure platform and we are using ChatGPT Enterprise to do all these things, because those are plugins that they are using it to do it. As I told you, it's $30,000 one-off implementation, job done. Then you pay monthly, which is going to be the whatever the license cost that they do. Your control, not get stuck in a vendor. What the vendor does it with what you do, how you can protect data, where your personal data comes from, God saves, we don't know. So this is the point here. The only place where Microsoft is guaranteed is your enterprise Microsoft 365. Otherwise, it's not. Personally, I have chosen to exclusively use, this is my thing. For me, privacy is important. I don't want my kids' photos or anything like that to go around here and there. But you have your own personal commitment. Microsoft has its own commitment, just to work it through accordingly. So this is how I would test, right? Ideally, if I have time, I've already opened up, but we're running out of time. Step one, create a basic Copilot account. Test it, what it does. Next one is get the 1 month trial of Copilot Pro and test it. Third one is the unfortunate situation with Microsoft 365 Business is they don't have monthly. They're very smart. They're doing only annual, which means it's $30 into 12, $360 you need to pay upfront for 12 months. You can't test it. But if you are a company, if you're just you, I would definitely go back and do what you need to do. Yes, you can configure Microsoft. There is an entire Viber asked a question about how does Microsoft allow data to be in a local country, local geography? Yes, it 100% does, and there is an entire Copilot team who just do it. So we already looked into this. I'm not going to go into deeper. So primarily, ChatGPT is faster than Microsoft Copilot Pro. Just think it through. And the other one is, which one do I buy? Let me quickly do so that I could open up a questions. You really get more by subscribing to ChatGPT Plus than Copilot Pro. But if you are using Copilot Pro, the advantage is that it connects to your Word and other things, which helps you to test it, right? So that's one thing. Second one is, it also helps you to upload multiple documents and you can play with it. But again, I don't want to influence you personally. Please, you just go and test yourself. The important thing is it cannot generate content based on your files, even if they're files in your personal drive. This is your ChatGPT, whereas the other one does. So I'm going to go again. Graphics, we already covered it. The reason I said that these all will be in the slides, so you can have a look. So Copilot Pro or Copilot, it's free. Is based on OpenAI language model, is also based on this, but this one, Copilot Pro, is based on Microsoft ecosystem. $20 a month, this is free, right? So faster performance, all these things. Important thing is GPT-4. So if you go for Pro, ChatGPT even locks you down. This one doesn't. Even during peak hours, you can still go for that. That's one advantage with Copilot Pro. That's it. All these things are there, both Copilot, both are subscription based, and both tools are designed to enhance productivity, all these things. I've just added in the slides and I'm keeping it so it's easy for you to read it. But most important thing is we'll just come to it at the very end. So bingo. So dilemma. So $360 per person. do I need to go? How am I going to quickly quantify this information to my team? It's something that you need to go with your own journey. As I said, if you wait for your company to invest on AI tools, not necessarily they might do it, because especially now, there is a lot of this is going to be a very tough year across the globe. Elections in 60 countries, a lot of uncertainties. So people will be very defensive, and they are cutting cost big side. And renewals in the UK, 34%, 34%, especially we track all the FM, prisons, immigration, etc. The top 50 FM suppliers have lost 1/3 of their renewals in the past 12 to 14 months here, because renewals are becoming very, very hard to keep here. So what that meant is people will try to hold what they've got before they actually go and run with it. Otherwise, they're going to do knee-jerk reactions of, hey, I am AI because I've got this tool, etc. You also have some um, I, some leaders doing knee-jerk reaction just to make them look good, and they, whatever the decision that they make, will be fudged upon on you. So you're going to find different dilemmas here. But is it something that I need to invest personally in my team? Yes. And your team is a return of investment. If you're a small team, I would 100% invest on this. But what you need to know is how you configure. This is the thing. For my final point is here. As I told you, Microsoft Teams premium version is now being part of it. This one tool alone is enough for you to just play with it. Maybe I'll do a part 2 fully demo for you when we meet up next time on the 18th of May. But for now, I just want you to test what you have. So this chat thread itself was unbelievable for me because before I used to do $10, but now I've got this here. Second one is in OneNote. I do a lot of OneNote before I go into a meeting. I prepare what I need to get out of the meeting. Then I write the meeting notes and I come back. So now with now I can connect my OneNote to email, and I could come out with the news. They say, hey, this is what we discussed in the meeting notes, and also my OneNote. I can connect it. Very, very, very interesting. Um, but Microsoft Outlook is borderline pathetic. When I say that, I mean it, because it's not like you go back and put, hey, I want you to pick up the last email I sent out to this person, and I want to pick up the action that comes out with it. It's evolving, right? It's improving as we speak, but it's important for you to know its limits as well. One of the questions that I received before the webinar is this: when drafting Copilot in Word, can I point it to the right folder or an entire SharePoint site, or does it have to be individual documents? Because obviously now you might think, hey, I never invested on proposal automation tools. My SharePoint is never configured, by case studies or by customer or by expertise or anything. I simply put that folder. Does it going to help me to write my first draft response? And obviously not. It will write it, but you need to still give the right context, and you just need to know, give it few iterations. It will do it for you, but it will search across your index for the information you need. So you just need to be mindful of it. So what we have done here is okay. We're just going to try it out. So we are going to do a 1-day intensive on Microsoft 365 Copilot, and we are going to do a 6-week boot camp after this as well. We're going to start with our past learners because obviously they are, we have nearly 2,400 people on the list, but I know budget is tight for everybody, but we are going to come out with some payment plans and stuff. But either way, we are going to do this, 1-day intensive workshop. This is actually $299. We have brought it down. This is actually $99 for people whom we know, because we just want to get on with it. $299, $99, and then the 6-week boot camp, we are starting it next month. Just so that we are going to go for, and it's going to be a lot more of what we don't want you to do. This is going to be like, how am I going to take it? How am I going to configure? How am I going to do it? Again, this will be $599, and this will be $299. That's it for all of our past APMP. If you're APMP students, if you have come to a webinar, we always know money should be the last factor for you to decide whether they want to succeed or not. Come to us, let us know what we can do to help, and that's where it comes in. So the course programs are now refreshed as well. If you want to get on with it, there'll be part two of this, where I'll be doing the live demo of it. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. I had it, but part 2 will be coming out. But in the meantime, this is where we are. There are a few questions that I also thought I'll add. If you're using Claude, Claude has a much bigger context window. When I mean context window, is it actually logically it's much more clever. So if you are using it for any kind of drafts and stuff, I would 100% start with Claude than ChatGPT. ChatGPT is reasoning is good, but analytical and logical, I would still invest on Claude. So I subscribe to Claude. I subscribe to ChatGPT. I subscribe to Microsoft Copilot Pro. I subscribe to 365. Then there are two other tools that I also subscribe to for graphics. And then I also have other tools which I use for videos and stuff as well. So again, we live in the world where we can compete. We can compete and we can go for that. So Copilot, whether you want to do, if you're using ChatGPT free, I will definitely go for Copilot free. If you haven't invested in anything, this is my final things. Definitely go for Copilot free. If do I need to go for Copilot Pro or ChatGPT Plus? I would go for ChatGPT Plus. But if you want to connect it with the Word and test it out, we can get a 1 month trial and play it out. But that's for your personal account, because you can't create your own account, because it will try to link up. That's the danger. Microsoft is very smart. If you try to use your company ID to create it, Microsoft will try to connect that into other one, and you don't want any personal information to flow through that as well. So for now, it's that. I use both for various reasons, but that's where you are. And this is a quick overview. I know this was dry. Hope that was useful. And I was surprised. Initially, I thought I'd simply go into Microsoft Teams or Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint and tell you how great the tool is. But I just want you to do the grounding for you much more stronger, and gives you the basis of investing on these tools, the pros and cons of what you do, what you don't do before you actually do that demo. It's fine. Next time when we meet up, I'll go for the full demo of how it connects to other things. But otherwise, this is where we are. I'm there for you if there is any questions. That's where we're going to meet up again on the 16th, 2024. And from June, AMA will be twice a month. And there'll be a lot more interactions on this, because I've seen a lot of sponsored webinars, sponsored events that's popping up. And I know there's a lot of people who want clarity on what they need to do. But, our boot camps give you that principles of stepping back, working it through before you do that. But, we can't reach everybody, but it is what it is. The tools are here for you. Our certifications are open and you can just go. And that's it from me. So if there is any questions, I'll just go. But otherwise, I just expect you to try Copilot app, download it. And second one is Copilot Pro. Third one is read all the stuff that I gave you on the links, and familiarize yourself where the world comes in. So remember, the language model is there. OpenAI is building more and more bytes. Next, they are also making the algorithms of taking the data and making it reasoning much, much smarter without bias. It's your data, your company data, and the data that's been shared to you in these tools that you're operating collectively will be the world. If you are individually going and spending money, you already spend the money. It's nothing is lost, because learning is good. But the world that's going to come up is going to be the world that Microsoft will lead, and Google will lead, and Apple, as you know, has invested on AI as well. So Apple phones will now be AI empowered. Samsung phones are already in the process of doing it, which that's Google Android. But wait for the thing. But the most important thing is privacy that we talked about. Social media, that's another thing. X.ai has is already got a lot of funding. So the social media aspects of AI. So you could now search and find information on X.ai. But guess what? Who owns LinkedIn is Microsoft. So very quickly, LinkedIn will also be integrated, which meant you have a Copilot which connects to the web, powered by OpenAI. Now it also can connect to LinkedIn, so the sales prospecting others. So what I haven't showed you yet is there is a Copilot case study for every single role that you could imagine. Copilot for sales, Copilot for marketing, Copilot for IT, Copilot for law, Copilot for anything and everything. I just want you to go back and have a look. So how they have done it, unfortunately, proposal, we are bucketed into marketing. Just go and have a look how this world is coming just in front of you. That's why it's important. While it's too much that's happening, I know you're exhausted. I am exhausted myself. I thought I know something, but very quickly it's proven that I know nothing. That's how world is going to be. But one step forward, we'll get there. But thank you for joining today. If there is any question, drop me a line. Otherwise, leave it to you. Enjoy the rest of the day, and all the very best. I'll see you on May the 16th. But the information on the boot camps and other things will also be sent to you. But thank you so much for joining. It's good to see you. Any questions, anything, to keep me posted. But otherwise, I just want to try it out. I just want to see who want to be part of this inaugural one day. That's what I just want to keep it very, very low. $199 for 1 day workshop, and also for the boot camp as well. So we can literally go and deep it. If you want to see the course material, I just sneakily show you. So this is what we are planning to cover. And you can critique it. You can critique it, but I thought this will be interesting. So what we have is this. So first we look at the introduction. So you just play with it. Then we just go with what license you have got. Obviously, we just need to know what it has. Then we're going to start with Outlook. You're going to say how we can use Copilot to do all these things. Searching in Outlook, Copilot, Then we are going to do with Word, how we could generate text, finding different information. Then we are going to do PowerPoint. Then we are going to do Excel. Then we are going to do OneDrive. Then we are going to do Teams. Then we are going to see, just to see what you can access, this like the data governance point. Then we can see how quickly you can build it. This is why when somebody tell you, oh, this is custom built, guys, now you as an individual, because my very close friend Rebecca recently posted in LinkedIn, I created a proposal AI, a tool. It's as simple. You as a person can create your own thing and then work for it. You can call it your name and you can just work with it. So we can also look into that. Then in addition to what the tools in Microsoft has, there's also other tools that it connects to, how we can also bring those tools to the picture as well. It's there. So primarily that's it. But I'll if there is something, and also before you do anything, what you can do to invest, IT governance, and all these things. Again, depending on your team, is it too expensive? The ROI calculations, what we can do, configuring, how it actually works, and adoption, bits and pieces. I'm just going with full ballistic on the bootcamp on the next 6 to 8 weeks. It starts in May, just to see how well we could do it. And if you get the basics of it for like $499, 6 weeks bed camp, and $199 for India, Africa. And if you are a job seeker, you pay only $199. Join the fun, and let's just see how far we go. But that's it. Thanks for joining today, and I'll see you May the 16th. Sorry we slightly overran, and all the very best, and speak to you very soon. Thank you all. Thank you.